So I figured I found a lot of videos online on YouTube that are biking tours of Amsterdam, and they do like east to west and all the way out to a thing. And they don't really have, I don't know. There's like some videos that are like life of the microcosms where someone just talks in the background and you just sort of watch what's going on. It's kind of different what's going on. And so I figured it's nice to, rather than show the centrum and all the wonderful pictures that people go and take about the middle of Amsterdam, what you would probably consider the downtown of Amsterdam, we're going to go look at like east of my place. And so we're moving on here. We're just heading down a small little canal out towards the Rhine Canal. And part of this is many of these places, like, tourists don't really go. And it's been kind of hard on my channel to show you guys these things. Later in the video, there'll be some place that people go to. It's called Dashric. But, that's not later. I'm just going to excuse the several cuts here because, sometimes I stop at a stoplight and it takes too long, or I stop and I check my phone because I was also in the process of doing Pokemon. So, yeah. That was just a train bridge right there. And like I said, a lot of the stuff you just don't see. This is the place where people live, and part of this is, I guess you could, if you were like a super creative, you could call this like a love letter of Amsterdam. And the fact that it's been like almost 18 months to the day of me living here. I mean, it's March. I moved here in August. That's 3 to 8. So that's a 5 months difference. So we're looking like, well over a year, over a year and a half. And right here, this is like a university area. It's called the Science Park. That's to the right. There's a big park called Flavo Park to the left. But this is just a bike. It's just there are cars that come down this, but it's not common at all. They're like service cars. But mostly it's for bikes, pedestrians, all that stuff. But yeah, like, I write this stuff a lot, and like I said, nobody shows you this stuff. They don't really, they show what the audience wants to see. And when one of our friends came and visited, I wanted to show him all the things that you don't get out of a history book, the things you don't get, from watching a travel blog or vlog or whatever they're called. And it's also to show off look at that sky. It's like March 4th. And so that's pretty much that. I mean, we've had a really warm winter for where we're at. And I don't know. I guess when I think of like Willie and other people coming visiting, I want to show them stuff like this. But the problem is I live here. I know these bike paths. Not all of them. I don't know I don't know every single bike path. That's a big old freeway up there. This is a short little, there are cars here. This is where people live. But this is mainly a bike highway, what I would call it, right here. Runs down along the Rhine Canal, which is a man-made canal. Goes between Het I and the Rhine, the river, which is the one that runs out through, out on the southern side. But, I'm going to swing up here, and go into an area that I can't really ever found on YouTube. Sometimes people don't ever quite get out of the way, no matter how many times you ring your bell, so you just have to pass them. The sound on here is obviously cut out because it is it's so grindy sounding because the camera is attached to my bike. So, I don't want to listen
that all the time. Plus, it's in the protective case in case anything happened. And you see there, it's a shipping canal. I wish I could have turned the camera momentarily to show you how ridiculously straight this thing is. But it's straight, it's symmetrical, and shipping boats go up and down it. It's just an easy way to get through from North to South Holland. And I say that as meaning the provinces, not the stupid, what everyone's like, oh, Holland, you're the whole country. No, that's not it. See, there you can kind of see it to the right. And so, I'm heading out through an area that's known as Iber. And it's one of the places we've thought about living. This is Deemer Park. This is actually the far west end of Deemer Park. But we're getting out to the edge, It's just a long bike path. My sister-in-law rides a bike all over the East Coast area, Middle East Coast. And she's been on longer bike rides through like Delaware and Maryland and Washington, D.C. and all that stuff. So this is sort of a little tribute to her so she could kind of get an idea of just what riding a bike here is like. And yeah, flame me, I'm not wearing a helmet. As you'll see from many, many shadows, you'll see my wonderful, wonderful windswept hair look. And this is just a small little bridge, pedestrians on the right, bikes and scooters on the left. Iberg is quite new. I believe a created island for, this neighborhood. It was under construction in 2004, so super new for the Netherlands, for Europe. Like, this stuff just cropped up yesterday. Right there on the left, that's a Canto. They can pretty much go on the bike lanes because they're like limited to like 20 kilometers an hour. 25, something like that. And they make a hell of a lot of noise. They sound like a lawnmower. But this is pretty much Iber, Pokemon stop. And so there's like the 26 tram that comes out here. Stupid cars. And so after coming out here, I'm just gonna kind of head back into the town. I mean, I have to head over to Zeeburger Island, but this isn't the busy skyscraper, maybe some people might call it. 5 stories, is that a skyscraper? Not so much to me. I come from Portland, Oregon, where we have buildings that are 30 to 40 stories tall, not 6. And Amsterdam does have some, but they're just not all over the place. But it's a nice day in March. It was like 8 degrees out and very windy. My legs were absolutely beat. 8 degrees Celsius, sorry. For you Americans, it's slightly below 50 Fahrenheit. But I did have my gloves on, so it was really hard to fix the camera and do anything. And we're still here in Iber. There's apartments over to the right. I can never really tell if apartments or condos or houses or anything like that. It just, and everyone's like, oh, everyone goes by bike. Well, you can absolutely see that to the left, there is obviously cars. There's intersections I have to stop for. But there's also a great number of bikes and scooters, mopeds, whatever you want to call them. Call them snorfeetsers here. I'm heading over kind of a artsy bridge. I forget its name right now. I've been over this bridge a lot, actually. This route is actually something I've done before. It's about 15 kilometers long, but the video doesn't finish it because the camera died, unfortunately. But there's still good stops. And again, I don't really know how to describe this, except for the fact that it's super windy right now and I'm being whipped around by a cross breeze. Sorry about this. The image stabilization is not the greatest, but I don't know. If I get a cash windfall, maybe I'll spend €1,000 on like a really good GoPro. But yeah, there's the same freeway, again, that I went under on the other side of Rhine Canal. And now I'm going back underneath it. I'm making a big loop. But yeah, well, people in Amsterdam don't use cars. Well, they do use cars. They just, you know, I would have to say within Amsterdam, I've only lived here, I haven't even lived here 2 years, but I can safely say that at least half the population is on bikes. And once you get a little further to the outside, out here at Eiburg and stuff, then yeah, more people are using a bit of cars, but there still are wide bike lanes. And this isn't a time when like school is out, or this isn't actually a really good weather day. I mean, it looks nice, it looks wonderful, but that's also what I've seen from the other videos, is everyone comes and they rent a bike and they stick their GoPro or whatnot on it, and then they go right around in Central. And they're like, oh hey look, and if there's like just absolute mess tons of people on bikes and tourists, and it's crowded, and that's an honest to God real look. But it's not the expansive network that they have. And maybe sometime later, you know, when it's a little bit warmer, I'll head down the Amstel. There's a decent bike path down the side of that one. But now we're over on Zeeburger Island. I've been kind of following the path of the number 26 tram. It's part of the reason Aaron and I wouldn't mind living out at Eiburg. It's because it's, you know, there's a tram that runs down the middle of it. It's really cool. And corner here. Here comes the 26 tram. I mean, Zeeburger Island is actually kind of a big intersection. I can understand why our bus 37 gets hung up here a lot. But like, the tram 26 stops over there, the park and ride, you know, on the right side, that's a 37 stop right there. And, yeah. Heading up over, now we're going along what would be the 37 route. And a lot of people, you know, are like, oh my God, how could you drive right next to big vehicles like that? Well, if you notice right there on the left, there's a kind of a small concrete median. I mean, it's not a full-blown median, but it definitely is a deterrent to crossing over near me. But yeah, it is kind of worrisome. A little water off to the right. Yeah, sorry about that one. When I got more onto that bridge, the sun basically washed out the entire camera. There was no visual footage there. So yeah, we're gonna go right, and we're gonna head into another little area that I think's cool. It's, I believe it's pronounced Krausjes Island. And so I was gonna go like ridiculously straight from here, but they've got bike stuff going on. So I was just like, whatever, I'll take it right. Now, as you can see, I should have gone left, but I was like, nah, let's go up and see what's back this way. And again, like you said, there's just bikes everywhere. There's a wonderful bike path. And in a weird way, I feel like it sucks that I live here and so many other people don't. Do I want people to come move here and jack up the rent prices? That's a bit awkward. So, I guess it's the fact that I wish certain people would move here. And I know that in terms of many other folks that this is an absolute gift to have moved here. But it is, you know, it is kind of difficult. Many times I want to have things go on that just aren't going to be, and people are like, oh, you're so lucky, and I like don't feel like it's been lucky, but sometimes I have to realize that it actually is lucky. It's hard to believe in luck when it's something that's uncontrollable. But it's so rare in my life to have felt
accepted someplace. And this goes for my team as it goes for like even the city. Now, to be fair, the city didn't like throw me a party. You know, I'm not the center of the universe, but it's certainly like a level of like tolerance and whatnot that I just did not ever really get from the United States. I mean, I lived in the States for like 37 years, and here I've lived a little over 18 months, and I feel way more comfortable and less stressed in my life living in a country that speaks a language I barely do. I can pronounce a lot of words, but half of them I don't even know what they are. But that's just the step in growth of language acquisition, I guess. You know, many of my Dutchies have learned English through watching media and reading memes and stuff through their childhood. And I can't go back and fix my childhood, but I can definitely do what I can now. Yeah, traffic stops. Like, they hold up for bikes. Like, it's real strange. Come around the corner. Sun's gonna blind out everything here for a second. Alright. Sorted that out. And yeah, so now we're hitting in like the north part of my not my neighborhood. My neighborhood's still pretty far from here. But this is up by that restaurant we have called Burritos Anonymous. It's over there by the Hoyer, a tourist place. Everyone loves to take selfies with it, and pictures. And if you got a sharp eye, you'll actually see a couple having a picture being taken in front of this thing on the other side of the bridge. I'm gonna pause sometime. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So now this is considered like Centrum area. This is like the busy area where the tourists tend to get lost when they take a wrong turn, because the bike lanes are a bit confusing, but they are pretty expansive. And now I'm heading, the original plan was to go up to Central, but then I realized the camera was in the process of dying, so I started making my way home to see what I could get finished. But as you can see, it's not the hustle and bustle that people think it is when it comes down to biking. And this is an area that people commute on bikes. This is where they live. This isn't, the main area that everyone thinks of when they think of Amsterdam. I mean, I'm actually near the zoo, Artis. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on this video? What are your thoughts on this style of video? I'd seen other people do this before with like, life in microcosms and whatnot. And sometimes gamers do this. They'll like run an old sped up stream that they've done, and they'll just talk about a problem with the game or a problem with their life just to keep a visual going on while people listen to their news because they don't put their face on. I don't know. I could probably sit here and name all the various historic buildings that are nearby, but I don't know their names right now. I probably could have had a script for this. But I really like the idea that I kind of had a rant video, but I didn't like complaining about everything. So if this is a kind of video you like, maybe the camera can record a lot, so maybe I'll figure out a future video to go somewhere else. Maybe down the Amstel or bike over to Zout or something like that. I hope to see you guys all later. Like I said, if this is the kind of video that you like, I'll try to get a little bit better with the sun glare and not be so J.J. Abrams about things. But yeah, I'll catch you guys all later. Comment below what you liked. Bye.